Okay, not really a guitar song, but who knows? I hadn't really thought about till just now, maybe doing an instrumental. This lesson is not the instrumental version though. We're going to take a look at Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. 1973, landmark album for him, but he'd been churning out great albums up at that point. Honky Chateau, Madman Across the Water, Tumbleweed Connection. Anyway, in 1973 came out with his first double album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Had some great tunes on it. Of course, opened up with Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding, bordering on progressive rock. This tune, though, is a fascinating piece in chord progressions. So later on, we're going to have like a little harmonic analysis of it as far as what's going on. So I'm going to try not during the lesson. I'm going to try not to talk too much about like what key we're in. I'd like you to be thinking about that as we run through the chord progression stuff. So we're really just going to be looking at playing the song, strumming, the acoustic guitar version. Let me find a pick that I could do this with. So we'll talk about the chords, but it continually changes keys, or it uses multiple keys, depending on how we want to think about it. So we will get into all that. First I'll talk about the chords. The strumming is going to be very basic, but it's going to be sort of a campfire thing, but a lot of chords, a lot of bar chords. Hopefully you're up on your E and A family of chords. All the chords that we're going to be using as bars will be coming from the A shapes or the E shapes. And let's see, what else is kind of cool about this tune? Bernie Taupin, of course, Elton's lyricist, was in the habit of writing lyrics that Elton would then set to music. Now I find this fascinating because most songwriters work the other way around. They come up with a chord progression and a melody and then start filling in words. But Elton works differently. Bernie writes lyrics with no tune in mind, and the lyrics are sometimes autobiographical. This one probably was about Bernie. Sometimes they're lyrics about Elton, and other times they're just about fascinating things, relationships and stuff like that. So anyway, in this lesson we're going to just take a look at the chord progression. You could look at the chart and figure it out. We're going to be playing it in the key of D. That little run I started with the D chord and ran just a very simple descending bass line with a little harmony added up on the top. That was a little different than what I just did a second ago, as you may have noticed if you were paying attention to both of them. The first one sounded more like what we hear Elton do on the piano. The real key, though, is if you want to play, I mean, I'm going to be thinking with D as my first home bass, and if you want to be in tune with the album, they're really in F. So you put a capo on the 3rd fret to be up there. So the real pitch is this. Uh-oh. That's how it really worked. We're going to break down that intro. I don't think I need tablature for that, but I'll just kind of talk you through that. Okay, coming up, chords first, progression, and then probably a little harmonic analysis, maybe a lot. That's one of those things I could get very carried away on. I will try not to. All right, today's lesson, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. In Yellow Brick Road, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, we have just about every chord you can play in open position, or at least one member of that family, maybe two, and then a bunch of bar chords from the E world and a few from the A world. So let's run through them kind of quickly first. Our standard set of major chords that we can play, there are 5 of them that can be played open. We of course have C, hopefully you're familiar with that, D, G, I like to play the G with 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers, A, and we'll play the A in this song. We'll have some A's, and we'll play it with all, again, my preferred fingering for A is 1st finger in the middle, which also leaves us available to play A7 with the same 2 fingers. And we're going to see really only one member of the E family, and that's going to be E minor, so you should be up on E minor. And so that was our 5 standard open chord families, where we have 5 major chords, G, C, D, A, and E, and 3 minor chords that can happen, E minor, A minor, and D minor. We're not going to see A minor or D minor. But we have one member of the B family that can be played not as a bar, and that's of course B7. So B7 is played with your second finger on B, first finger on D sharp, and then an A and an F sharp. Now we can of course play B7 as well as a bar out of the A7 family, barred up at the second fret. And so you're welcome to play the B7 like that, but B7 is one of the few B chords that can be played without a bar. Now we also are going to have B minor, which does have to be played as a bar. So there we need the full bar at the second and an A minor. We can do a few different things with the strumming in this. We could make it very simple campfire style, where we just use the ballad strum. The beats are going, we're in 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's going fast enough to where we can really feel the half notes and really be more counting 1, 2, 1, 2. But then we're going to be strumming double time, 4 strokes per measure, 1 and 2 and, which means we're really doing downs at the speed of eighth notes. Now if we bring the ballad strum in for that, which would be down, rest, down, down, up. I'm just playing a D chord here. Down, rest, down, down, up. That would work great through the whole song. You could also do something a little bit more, we could hit bass notes and do something like this, 2 bass notes. I'm back on that D chord, so I'm going from the 4th string to the 3rd and then down, down, up. If I start running through the progression, so bass, bass, down, down, up. The easiest way to play the intro would be to really just strum through the chords with the descending bass line. So the bass line we want to hear is this: D, C sharp, B, A, G, A, D. And if we take that in with the kind of campfire or folk style version, we would hit the bass for the D and strum the D chord with the down and up. Then we just go to C sharp in the bass. And have the same strum in there. Now we're going to alter this a little bit later, but just the same down up. So D, D with C sharp in the bass, B minor with A in the bass, and again working on keeping that bar on the first string only with just the knuckle part of your hand, of your finger, to G, and A7, and D. So there we have the intro. Now, what we really want to do, though, is get just pairs of notes where the bass does exactly that. While we combine this melody harmonized starting on the F sharp. So on the D chord, what we want to hear is this. If I put that together with the bass, you could try that first, but I'll do it right now for you. Once we run through the intro, we kick into the first verse starting on the E minor, and nothing too fancy here. So we're just going to strum through the chords. I'm just going to use that ballad strum now, and we've got something like this. The E minor, to A, to D, to G, to C, to A7, to D. Next line is the same. Now he's singing a little different melody, up a little higher.